I really have to say I'm truly blessed by what happened yesterday. What is up, future viewers? Of course, we have ones. You guys. I just want you to look at something right here. Because we got a lot to cover today. But look at this. We are so close to hitting 1,000 views. We're past the 30 our late subscriber is Marlo, who was here earlier. 199. Man, we've got so much to cover today. I couldn't fit everything in the technically I guess I could because I more. I am so blessed. I do not deserve this. I don't know why. Like, that is so weird. I've got like 204 views on my. It's at now on yesterday's stream. And I mean, I had a pretty good stream, at least like 4 people tuned by the end of it. That is crazy. That is crazy. You people are the best. Shout out to all of you. But we got so much to cover today. We got Trump. We got more of the NICKMERCS Hassan's apparently responded to Dr. Disrespect. I saw that Tucker, Andrew, and Tristan Tay got more of that. There's some creepy doctor who, like Mark Hamill, who wants to forcibly vaccinate your children. He wants to forcibly vaccinate us all. We also have this from Joe Rogan.
Hi, Meow Meow.
Hi, Ruff Ruff.
I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Yeah.
This is our first podcast coming out as our true selves.
We're furry.
Yeah, we've been holding it in forever.
This is my true identity. And you know what? It just eats me alive to not tell how we met at a furry con.
Well, we didn't know that we met there. Remember?
Well, yeah, I didn't know who you were for a long time.
Yeah, we didn't know. I'm like, oh my God, you're Meow Meow?
Dude, it blew my mind. I mean, to me, that is proof we're in a simulation. Because what are the odds?
But without further ado, I think we should start this by reacting to the Tucker Carlson. So Tucker releases, and I was doing my best to tune in. I had to do some work for Senate candidate here in New Jersey, Shirley Maya Cusack. I've been wanting to get her on. I've been wanting to get another guest on since the last one, which was Danny, my good friend Danny from Young Americans for Liberty, who also works on this campaign. So I was taking breaks in between making phone calls just to tune into the Tucker, because, I mean, it's Tucker. Why don't we share?
It's Tucker Carlson. This spring, word began to circulate in Washington that the House Oversight Committee, under its new chairman, Congressman Jamie Comer, had discovered criminal behavior after reviewing thousands of pages of the Biden family's bank records.
So this has to do a lot with Hunter Biden. You heard today that he pled guilty to tax fraud and the charge on the gun. Only that, not whatever was on, not what godforsaken material. And trust me, I've seen a glimpse. I had a snippet glimpse. I cannot share that. I did not like what seeing. Apparently, according to Rudy Giuliani, according to people who have seen, it is awful.
Now, publicly, to the extent they responded at all, the White House dismissed the investigation as, of course, politically motivated. In any case, irrelevant. Hunter Biden was an adult, so his business dealings had nothing at all to do with his father, in this case, the President of the United States. But in private, everybody understood it wasn't quite that simple. There has long been overwhelming evidence that Joe and Hunter Biden's financial lives are not separate at all, but deeply intertwined. On Hunter Biden's laptop, there's a suggestion that the two of them even at one point shared a bank account. And of course, Hunter Biden wrote himself that he kicked back cash from his foreign business deals to his father. He wrote that bitterly. So the Oversight Committee's investigation was potentially a disaster for the White House, a scandal, possibly even a prelude to that. Joe Biden's handlers did the one thing they could do. They set up an MSNBC interview to preemptively whitewash whatever Jamie Comer might find. Here's the results of that. This aired on May 5th.
Sir, there is something personal that's affecting you. Your son, while there's no ties to you, could be charged by your Department of Justice. How will that impact your presidency?
First of all, my son's done nothing wrong.
Have you looked at his laptop, Joe? No. And I don't want to... I would get a strike on my channel. It is some of the worst material ever.
I trust him. I have faith in him. And it impacts my presidency by making me feel proud of him.
That is disgusting. Joe once called Hunter the smartest man he ever knew. If you've seen any photo of Tucker Carlson, not Tucker, I mean Hunter Biden, Joe's dementia has really caught up to him.
Okay, time for the master class for free. You can audit it. Here it goes. Sir, showing appropriate respect, says the shill, there is something personal that's affecting you. Note the wording. Personal, not of public concern, nothing law enforcement might be interested in, but personal, a sad family tragedy. That's the framing. And then this, a sentence choreographed to the letter. Your son, while there's no ties to you, could be charged by your Department of Justice. Got that? Well, there's no tie to you. So the answer is, in fact, in the question. Whatever Hunter Biden goes down for, and we know he is going to be charged because MSNBC said so. But when that happens, that's Hunter's problem. It's got nothing to do with Joe Biden. Rest easy, America. 5 days later, the Oversight Committee released its findings, and they were, in fact, devastating. Quote, bank records show the Biden family, their business associates, and their companies, their many companies, received over $10 million from foreign nationals and their related companies, the committee wrote. Investigators had, quote, identified payments to Biden family members from foreign companies while Joe Biden served as vice president and after he left public office. So actually there was something there. It was a scandal. Racketeering, money laundering, wire fraud, those are some of the crimes the Bidens seem to have committed, in addition, of course, to selling out the United States for cash. So what would happen to them? Well,
that's just the tip of the iceberg, by the way.
Donald Trump had an idea, quote, they'll hit Hunter with something small to make their strike on me look fair. Trump wrote that about 2 weeks ago, and it turned out those were prescient words. This morning, Hunter Biden pleaded guilty to pretty much nothing. Biden pled to 2 misdemeanor tax evasion charges, then entered a diversion on a federal gun charge. That's it. As far as Merrick Garland's Justice Department is concerned, Hunter Biden is done. There was no pre-dawn raid carried live simultaneously on CNN. There was no perp walk, no handcuffs, no press conference. Above all, there was no felony. Hunter Biden, who broke federal gun laws, can still carry a gun. It's like it all never happened. In fact, the Justice Department just baptized Hunter Biden. A lifetime of sins washed away in an instant. It was a secular miracle. Most miraculous of all, Hunter Biden somehow escaped a FARA charge. FARA is the Foreign Agent Registration Act, and it is exactly what its name suggests. Under federal law, if you are acting as an agent of a foreign nation in Washington, you are required to register with our government to let everybody know. Well, for decades, pretty much nobody in Washington did register under FARA, and precisely no one was ever prosecuted for it. No one. But starting several years ago, the Justice Department began sending people to prison on FARA violations. The official explanation was,
Very interesting.
we're cracking down on foreign influence in Washington. And of course, privately, everyone in Washington laughed. They knew that was absurd. In fact, it's the opposite of the truth. Foreign powers have never had more power in Washington. Their agents are everywhere, in every federal agency and throughout business, down to and including in executive positions at various social media companies. The Biden administration knows all of this, and it's not a problem. In fact, it's their policy. From the administration's perspective, the concerns and the demands of, say, the Chinese government, or particularly the Ukrainian government, are far more important than the needs of American voters. We're cracking down on foreign influence. Please. The point, the only point of enforcing FARA after decades of ignoring it, is to
The deep state's more dangerous than China or Russia. That's a fact.
harass and imprison high-profile political opponents. Trump donor Elliot Broidy pled to a FARA violation a few years ago. So did Trump campaign manager, famously, Paul Manafort. He went to prison. Last year, the DOJ went after Trump confidant Steve Wynn under FARA. But in the end, the Biden administration overreached so comically that the whole thing was thrown out by a judge. But they tried. So as long as they're trying, if it was a fair system, Hunter Biden would be first on the list of those next to be charged with a FARA violation. In fact, many of them. Hunter Biden was a foreign agent. He never registered as one. But for years, that's exactly what he was. He sold access to his father and other lawmakers to the Chinese and the Ukrainians. And
There's the tape where he's panicking that he's about knowing that he's blackmailed by the Chinese and that he's afraid of getting caught, and that one of his friends who was like a very important intel agent in China had went missing.
Countries throughout the world. There's no debate about that. The FBI has known about it for years. For years, they've had possession of Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yes.
But they didn't charge him for it today. They never will. Why? Well, you know the answer. Hunter Biden has good genes. A more interesting question, though, which is another question the feds will never consider, is what does...
Yeah, his genes appear to be good for grooming. That's probably what they're only good for. It runs in the family, with old Joe, like father, like son.
Hunter Biden do for a living now? This is a man with no obvious job and, of course, zero skills. He spent midlife smoking crack. Yet somehow he's managed to live pretty well despite rising inflation. He's been living in big houses in the costliest residential neighborhoods in the world. He's been paying his stripper baby mama $20,000 a month in child support. And he has retained a team of the most expensive lawyers in the country who spend quite a bit of time sending threatening letters to anyone who asks questions about how they're being paid.
A big man.
We can confirm that firsthand.
Exactly.
So again, what does Hunter Biden do for work? That's a fair question. And tonight we have the answer. For years, Hunter Biden was an influence peddler.
First, I want to ask if anyone, because I work retail, I'm sure probably a lot of you have worked. If you don't have a job, you'll probably work retail. Doesn't Peter Hunter ever had a job?
Now, Hunter Biden is a self-actualizer. He self-actualizes for a living. He gets in touch with himself, his feelings, and he follows his muse.
Ooh.
Here he is explaining his new vocation in a 2019 ABC News interview.
This is new.
Yeah.
Studio.
Yeah.
But now he's opening the doors to a place never captured by a paparazzi's lens, his refuge, an art studio where he finds solace in painting.
What's the goal eventually?
Kind of like George H.W. No, it was George W. Bush. It was. HW wasn't the painter. It was obviously W, if you know anything.
No goal. That's the perfect part about it. It's just, it literally keeps me sane.
His refuge, far from the paparazzi's lens. In other words, we're not the paparazzi, we're ABC News. What's the goal of this? Your refuge. There's no goal, he says, grinning with those fake teeth. It just keeps me sane. But actually, there was a goal. And if you didn't know what a virtuous person Hunter Biden was, you might think it looked a lot like money laundering. 2 years after that interview, Hunter Biden was selling prints of his art. And to be clear, just the prints, not the quote art itself, but effectively photocopies of it for $75,000 a pop. Apparently, Hunter Biden moved 5 of these repros in just days. That's $375,000 in less than a week for signing copies of your fake art. As for the paintings themselves, childish, self-indulgent blots, those sold for $500,000 a piece. So the question is, who bought them and why? It'd be interesting to know. There's a story there for sure, but of course we have no right to know. There's no public policy implication. It's not like Hunter Biden's finances have anything to do with his father's finances. Meanwhile, once his father did become president, corporate publisher Simon & Schuster Biden's bills. According to news reports, Simon & Schuster gave Biden millions of dollars for his highlight account of his wholly unaccomplished life. And then the publisher lined up brainless celebrity endorsers like Dave Eggers and Stephen King to promote it. King, who apparently will say anything if it helps the party, called Hunter Biden's silly manuscript a, quote, harrowing and compulsively readable memoir. And then Stephen King described Hunter Biden himself as beautiful. Needless to say, the book sold miserably, but Hunter Biden...
Hold on a minute. You know what we gotta play?
I am not gay. I have relationships with women. Sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I mean, come on.
Biden got to keep the millions, and that was the point. And so on. This kind of thing apparently happened a lot. Again, there seems to be a story here, and we think it's probably worth learning a lot more about it and bringing it to you. In the coming weeks, we will. In the meantime, though, the question is, what can we learn from Hunter Biden's plea deal today? First off, the obvious. For the children of the people in charge, there are no penalties. There are only upsides. They're princelings. They can do what they want. You are not. Therefore, you can't. So don't get any ideas about cheating on your taxes or violating federal gun laws unless you want to celebrate next year's Father's Day through the glass in the visitor's room. The rules definitely apply to you. But there is also a deeper lesson here, a more disturbing one. What we're watching through Hunter's life and through the Biden administration, now entering its 3rd year, is the total inversion of virtue. What was once considered admirable is now derided as stupid, if not racist. That would include achievement, intelligence, honesty, self-control, humility. Those are features of the old America. Those were yesterday's virtues. They are gone. In their place, all that we once considered contemptible and repulsive, we're told to worship that now. Here's a small example, but we think a revealing one. In addition to his many other sins, Joe Biden has hired what has to be the single dumbest, nastiest, most dishonest, most ridiculous person he could possibly find for the very public position of White House press secretary. There's a point to it, of course. It was a humiliation exercise. It was designed to degrade the country and dispirit the rest of us. That's the White House press secretary? Shut up! But here's the thing. The White House press secretary herself has no idea why she's in the job. She thinks she's amazing. Here she is in a clip we just...
The only reason why she's Black, Creole, and lesbian. That's the only reason. It was for identity politics.
Saw.
a year in this role, there's been a couple of things that has made me incredibly proud. Many things that made me incredibly proud to be at that podium during this historic moment. Again, this is a historic administration. I'm a historic figure, and I certainly walk in history every day.
I'm a historic figure? Imagine saying that. I'm a historic figure, but she does. And she says it in a burst of sincere self-congratulation, marked by her signature bad grammar. Illiterate, but proud. Of course she's proud. Karine Jean-Pierre is now a historic figure. Just like Hunter Biden is now an important artist. It makes you feel stupid for going to work.
So, and the Trump part of this we're going to bring up is going to be because Trump, it was mentioned by Tucker that he predicted this a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to bring it up from, I think Laura Loomer actually posted something earlier. So we're going to bring that up. And after, I think we're probably going to move on to the NICKMERCS stuff. So if you came here for the NICKMERCS stuff, we're going to get there shortly. We just need to get there right now. Let's see if I can find it. Because I know that Trump did post something. You know what? I'm not seeing it. So, you know what? We're just going to actually get onto the Hassan stuff. Because I think that's all been said. What was said was said. And now we just need to get on to this. So apparently Hassan following, so the NICKMERCS story continues. So if you missed yesterday's Dr. Disrespect made some, and NICKMERCS all made some comments about this song. And all right, here it is. So looks like I've made some typos in here. I'll fix it at the end. But so we got here it.
But yeah, funny thing is when you said what you
So
said.
this fake communist, this person who says, "Oh, I live on minimum wage in this nice, luxurious man," and like son is apparently people say that he's Chunky Yogurt's nephew. You know, Chunky Yogurt of the Young Turds, who says that if he was world dictator, he'd legalize bestiality. Yeah, that Chunky Yogurt. Apparently, this is his nephew, and he's equally as retarded.
You were reading a chatter. I know, but that doesn't matter. Like, I mean, I will own it. Like, I'll stand by it. I'm not trying to like deflect away from that. That's something that I would say regardless. Just like a million people have said it regardless. Like, I don't think it's that serious at all. I think it's like perfectly valid. It's perfectly valid to make that joke. And, they're just mad. They're big mad. It doesn't really matter.
I just have one thing to say to you, Hassan. Leave kids alone. And the other part of this is Call of Duty has been getting because so yes, as well. So yesterday I covered the Dr. Disrespect. You can go and see the video. It's there on the on my channel. Oh, but let me just get this Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty they haven't really been posting. They've just been retweeting. Let's actually bring this up. Leave it alone. Then there's Tweeter Trash, who this account looks. Apparently I'm following them. Don't remember that, but look at that. Jeremy, Dan Vask, they are just getting destroyed. Call of Duty. Like, I'm going to do it. There we go. We're going to go ratio them. Protect all children, even if they are not yours. I mean, Call of Duty, for a couple, apparently, according to Jeremy, and let's actually get Jeremy. We got Scott McKenzie. We got Yellow Flag. This is a different one. That was the June 24th one, but they're just so this is actually I'm not going to show this. This is heartbreaking. This is what it was. Hey, Call of Duty, when you tweeting again? Jeremy, man. Hail the 199. Hail the 199. Oh my God. And that was a really quick one because there hasn't really been much other than that. And also, Call of Duty is getting the most backlash they have gotten in years because they're a bunch of groupers. They pretty much support groupers. So, we're going to. But I think that we should move on to some other news. Andrew Tate. We got this. So Tate actually posted. So Tate's been one of the people targeted by the global establishment, the New World Order, the deep state, whatever you want to call it. Both Andrew and Tristan Tate.
So I just wanted to have an informal conversation. I was going to put a suit on and do this formally, but I think it's better if I do this informally. Highlighting some of the things that everybody already knows about how the Matrix operates and what they're trying to do to me and what I believe is going to happen next. It's quite interesting that they are attacking me and attempting to vilify me at the exact same time, whereas real predators, which work for the media establishment, are being ousted. So it's really interesting to do a juxtaposition and do a comparison.
It's meant to hide the fact that there are all these rumors, because that's the real. Andrew Tate's not a groomer. I might not agree with everything he says, but he's certainly not a groomer. All those allegations, all those women came forward and said that he was not grooming them.
Comparison, right, between how they will treat Philip Schofield, who is confirmed as a groomer, who is admitting he has committed sexual crimes, and how they'll treat me, a man with no convictions and no admission of sexual crimes. Look at the differences in the headlines. Look at how soft they are in their interviews with him.
You've had quite the week. How are you?
I mean, this is also with Trump. Andrew Tate and Donald Trump are two of the most targeted people in the world right now. I say Putin's or third, but it's those three men. For whatever reason, they are targeted.
Look at how now, after only 2 or 3 days, the headlines are saying we should forgive him and feel sorry for him and let him off. Whereas me, who's been under constant media assault for over a year, they never let up. They never change. Someone sent me a clip yesterday of Philip Schofield saying he's going to kill himself and how sad he is.
Last week, if my daughters hadn't been there, then I wouldn't be here.
Why did they keep pushing me? Why do they keep pushing me, playing the sympathy card? And all the headlines are now like, yeah, we can't keep attacking this poor man. For 1 year, they've attacked me, and they will not stop. And this highlights the difference between the people who are on the side of the establishment and the people who are not on the side of the establishment. I've been offered to sell my soul very many times. I want everyone at home to understand, you do not become the most Googled man on earth, especially amongst the demographic of young men, which have money to spend, without very large companies and corporations becoming extremely interested in you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been offered $50 to $60 million by companies I'm not going to name. All I had to do was shut up. Shut up, take the money, wear the stupid hat, wave around the stupid drink, whatever it is, and continue to agree with whatever the Matrix says, regardless of my own personal feelings, my personal views and beliefs, and just push it on the minds of young children. And I refuse to do that. I refuse to sell my soul.
He wants to be his own man. That's admirable.
If I would have sold my soul to a large corporation, and then this attack happened, which I very much doubt this level of Matrix attack would have even happened to me, but if it did, then this large corporation would speak to the media, and the media would be treating me like they treat Philip Schofield. They wouldn't be treating me as an enemy. They would treat me as an ally. All I had to do was sell my soul, and I refused. The recent BBC interview that took place, I don't think most people understand genuinely how snaky that interview was. The reason I had to destroy her so ruthlessly is because of how the interview was set up. When I was in jail, the BBC was constantly trying to get me to give an interview over the phone, and I refused. When I left jail, the BBC begged me for an interview, daily begging me. And for 3 months, I refused. Eventually, once I understood, after my 3rd month of house arrest, what the Romanian government is going to do to me, which we're going to discuss shortly, I thought now would be a good time to get an interview. BBC begged me, saying,
you might want to get a pen and a notepad or something to write or type on. This could get important.
That Romania has one of the most corrupt justice systems in Europe, that there's serious problems with the case. Lots of evidence that's been leaked shows Andrew's innocent, that Andrew's side of the story hasn't been heard, that we're interested in fair and unbiased journalism, that we don't want to come there and do a hit piece. We want to speak to him and try and find out the truth of what's happening. In fact, we're going to send you the questions we want to ask in advance. I'm not a coward. I never ask for questions in advance. I don't care because I'm a professional and I will destroy anyone instantly. But they sent us a list of questions, which was shown to me. And I was like, well, those are actually interesting questions. What's my mental health like? What's Romanian jail like? What's it like being in a courtroom where everyone's speaking a language you don't understand and having your liberty deprived of you? I thought this is going to be an interesting interview. I agreed. The BBC, all nice smiles and all lies, sent us this entire spiel, turned the cameras on, sat down and attacked me.
Have you ever put any and applied any psychological control on any of the women you dated?
No, and I respect women. This idea that that I'm so much smarter that I can hypnotize somebody, I think is extremely misogynistic idea. I think your idea is misogynistic to believe that women don't have their own free thoughts and free minds. They attempted to sucker punch me. They attempted to shake my hand and knock me out with a sucker punch once the cameras were on, to hit me when I was off guard. They expected me to be off guard, ready to talk about my mental health, and hit me with these questions and me make a fool of myself. unaware that I'm a master of Aikido. And when you attempt to sucker punch me, it simply misses, and I destroy you.
I think we're done.
Yep. Unmatched perspicacity. Just because I'm the best there's ever been, and me, with my quick thinking and nearly incomparable wit, can sit and destroy a professional reporter and her entire research team's preparation, just because I make that look easy, doesn't mean I should be forced to succumb to these unfortunate circumstances. 99% of the population, if they were tricked the way I was tricked, would look a fool on camera. They were very prepared to try and make a fool of me. But I'm the best there's ever been. Did they do this?
Smart. Say what you want about him, but Andrew Tate is a smart man.
Philip Schofield? No. Where was the BBC's outrage when Rolf Harris or Jimmy Savile were touching children? They don't care. Where's the BBC's outrage when certain other people, high level in society, members of the royal family, are caught having pictures with minors? They don't care. But they will continue to try and convince you that I am something I am not on repeat over and over and over again. These people are worse than disingenuous. They are worse than simply liars. They are evil. They are a club. And if you sell your soul and join the club, they offer you protection. And if you don't, they aim to destroy you, which is what they're trying to do to me. The reason I decided to give the interview to the BBC is because I now believe that the next step, and I'm going to call it, because I've called...
You taking notes?
Everything that's happened to me so far. Look at my old interviews. I said, stage 2, they're going to try and put me in jail.
I understand that you get 3 strikes in this game. Strike 1 is they try and shut you up and discredit you.
Kate looks so different.
Strike 2 is they try and put you in jail for no reason. And strike 3 is they kill you.
The truth is this. So I knew it was coming. I absolutely not knew it was coming because of how orchestrated it was. The only thing, and I'll state this at the beginning, the only reason I'm upset by being canceled is because I've expired one of my lives. I mean, I'd never kill myself. Don't fucking try. But, bruv, because that's what's next. That's what's next. It's scary. I'm telling you, everyone thinks I'm paranoid. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. So it's like every single organization on the face of the planet.
He's not wrong. Look at what happened to Huey Long. He was becoming too much of a threat to the establishment in Louisiana. U.S. Senator and Louisiana Governor Huey Long. What happened?
And it's corrupt. This is what I say to people. I say, listen, and I'm going to say this on this podcast now because I say it on every other one. I would never, ever kill myself. I truly believe they're going to come and they're going to try and kill me on a long enough time frame because they tried to shut me up and I won't shut up. They're either going to try and put me in jail or they're going to kill me. And I would never kill myself under any circumstances ever. And the reason I say this, and I say this to people, and they go, but what can they put you in jail for? And I'm like, how ignorant are you in your ignorance to believe they need a reason? You believe it's fair. You believe I can get a lawyer and prove myself innocent. That's not how it works. They decide you're guilty long before and they find a reason why. And it doesn't matter what you do about it, you will pay the fucking price. It's not fair. None of it is. Every single system's corrupt. It actually annoys me when people say that to me. Well, just get a lawyer. Why? They can't put you in jail if you're innocent. Yes, they fucking can. And that's what people don't understand about the world. They can and they do and they fucking will. And that's what's scary.
I'm going to call what's going to happen next. The Matrix is extremely angry. And they are angry because their weapons aren't working. I remain unfazed. This is the first time in history someone who was canceled became more popular than before. This is the first time in history where a full broadside of media lies for over a year across every single outlet that they control has failed. Nobody believes them. Nobody. So now what do they do? Well, I believe the UK is going to try and raise charges against me. Don't know what for. I've done nothing wrong. Something's going to appear.
Andrew Tate needs to flee to Russia. He needs to seek protection in Russia.
From nowhere. In fact, I will say that I have some very high-level friends and some whistleblowers who are confirming exactly that to me. They've looked at me and thought, we have to get this guy. What's he done? Nothing. Find something. Who cares? Get some papers. Move some papers around, get a judge will stamp them, and put him in jail. It doesn't matter that I've done nothing wrong. I also want to say that I believe the Romanian government is going to charge me. They're not going to charge me because they have any evidence. And they're not going to charge me because I'm guilty of anything. They're going to charge me because after a 14-month investigation, 6 months of arrest, which is the maximum they can possibly give me without charge, I don't think they can just drop this. Imagine they just drop this tomorrow. Oh, we made it all up. Imagine that. What choice do they have but to charge me? If they charge me, I have to go to trial. Now, of course, I still believe in Romanian justice. I really, truly believe that even with Romanian justice systems or matrix-controlled justice systems, I will be found innocent because I know the case file, I know what's in it. But that's going to take years. They're going to waste 1.5 to 2 years of my life, make me go to trial. Then when I'm found not guilty, it's been years. Who cares, right? Distance from event. If they drop it now, it's the biggest story.
What they're doing with Trump. See how this all links back? Though they're trying to give Trump a quick they say they're going to have in around August, like July or August, Trump's trial, for the federal documents. And they had to drop the other cases, the New York one and apparently the Georgia one, they're not going to indict him on. So they're going to drag that case out through the election.
In the world. They can't drop it. They're going to charge me. They're not going to charge me because I've done anything wrong. They're going to charge me because that's how the Matrix works. Unfortunately, I'm up against an enemy which I can't really, truly beat. I can't beat them. All I can do is continue to discredit them to the point where nobody believes them anymore. And I cannot do that without having perspicacious, intelligent people at home who are analyzing the situation and truly understand what is happening to me. If I have to martyr myself, if I have to some degree sacrifice my liberty and the quality of my life to highlight how the Matrix operates, how the legal system and the media work hand in hand to try and convince the populace somebody is guilty before a judge says they are guilty because they have pre-decided to say this person is guilty because of his wrong think. If I have to sacrifice myself to do those things, then I guess at least my imprisonment is a noble one. And I'm a man. And although Romanian jail is as close to hell as you can find on planet Earth, if I have to suffer it, I will do that because I will not sell my soul. The point of this video is only to highlight and make clear the differences in how the people inside of the club are treated versus the people who are outside of the club. And also for me to predict the future for everyone to understand. When new charges come, when new countries attempt to attack me, when the Matrix unrelentingly continues to print lies about me and try to convince the world that I am a bad person, I hope it does nothing else but show the world that I am a good person. These people are liars. The people they tell you are good are not good. The people they tell you are bad are the good ones. Do not believe a word that they say. All in all, my predictions for the future are not certain. My future is certainly not certain. Whether I'll continue to breathe or continue to be free, nobody knows. But the one thing I can guarantee to absolutely everybody at home, and anybody who believes in me and my message, and anybody who listens to me speak, I will never sell my soul, I will never be controlled, and I will never lie.
Well said. And I know we've got that RFK story, but I'm going to harp on this. You see the media, bang, bang, go after Trump. Says this, says that. You saw the interview that he had with Bret Baier. Trump just took Bret Baier to a town and smashed him like how Andrew Tate smashed that reporter. And Donald Trump, Andrew Tate, they are two of the most targeted people, as I've said. Putin's probably number third because Putin was trying to protect the people of the Donbass from what was going on in Ukraine. With the Ukrainian government overthrown by the Western-backed democracies, it should be democracies. The Western-backed democracies overthrew Ukraine in 2014, set up a government and which had a lot of Nazis in it, and then they started targeting ethnic Russian areas. And you see how the media narrative has worked with that for 8 years. They refused to show anything for 8 years until February 24th, 2022, when Russia launched a special military operation, which they aim for a short, or they go in, they wipe out the Nazis, and they were pretty much done. But the West, they weren't done. They thought they mistook Russia's I wouldn't say compassion, but they mistook Russia not showing full strength for weakness, and they decided that they wanted Putin out. He was too much of a threat. Him and China are building an alternate world order to the old Anglo-American establishment. And guess what happened? And now we are into over a year of war, and so many Ukrainian lives have been lost. Look back here in the States. We had back in late fall of 2022, the Alex Jones trial sued him. This lawsuit was $1 billion, which Alex knew he was going to pay, and they're going to drag this. Alex plans on dragging this thing out, and I think he will win the following case. He's got a great lawyer. He's got great lawyers in Robert Barnes and Norman Pattis. But we also have Trump. You're seeing all of these people turn their back. All these people who were in his people, from DeSantis to Pence. If anything, it's good that we're seeing all these people come out of the woodworks and show their knives. It will make us know who was the enemy all this time. Who was the enemy? Who was going after Trump? And you know what? They're going to try and they're really trying to get Trump. And let's see this. What are the odds from ALX on there? What are the odds that news on Donald Trump's trial date, Hunter Biden's plea deal, and the charges against Andrew and Tristan Tate all break on the same day? Simulation. Wall Street Silver. Most entertaining outcome is most likely to occur. But you understand what's going on. Everything is moving crazy, and I'm going to get to the RFK stuff. I thought this was going to be a much longer stream, but we are brushing through topics. Let's go. Let's go. Brush through these topics. That just shows you what's going on, what's happening. We're winning. Oh my God. What did you post? Clone Trooper 117. Oh man. Yeah, there's also a lot of stuff. There's like a whole civil war going on in the furry community. There are furries who do not like any of this stuff that's being pushed, and they are fighting back against some weirdos who I'm not even going to cover there because it's not worth my time. Maybe tomorrow, perhaps tomorrow, but right now it's not worth my time. Right now, we have one more story to cover, and I think I've done a great job so far. Let's see. So, there was a doctor. I forgot what his name was. Hang on, I forgot what his name was. RFK. So RFK Jr., who is known to be, I mean, this guy is I do think he is legit. He's got problems. He has problems, but I still trust him a lot. I trust him more than DeSantis, to be honest. Let's see if we can get it up. Let's see if we can get it, because he was on Joe Rogan the other day. He was on Joe Rogan the other day, and he talked about this one guy. He wanted to debate this guy who looks like Mark Hamill. Why am I blanking up on his name? Hold on a minute. Let's see. Oh, it's Peter Hotez. Yeah, that guy. Let's get this guy apparently has gone after Kennedy.
To postulate that it came out of a laboratory doesn't hold water.
So much
there
like
is
Mark
no
Hamill.
smoking gun to say that it's of laboratory origin, either accidental or deliberate. It's not impossible, but what I've been calling for, and many of us have been calling for, is we do need to know the origins of COVID.
So your issue is that Jon Stewart and others who are embracing this theory are just jumping the gun. It's not that it's not possible. You're just saying they're jumping the gun and saying this without the evidence.
That's right, and they're putting the entertainment value of this over and above what's reality, and it causes a lot of damage.
This is Greenwald. Professor Peter Hotez, MD, PhD, is far too elevated and serious of a scholar to lower himself to debating RFK on Joe Rogan's platform. He's an esteemed man of science who confines himself to the lofty highs of peer reviews and to interviews on TMZ. So, I mean, look at that from Jackson Hinkle. Andrew Tate should be free. Dr. Peter Hotez, who wants to forcibly vaccinate your kid. This guy has said that he wants to forcibly vaccinate your kid. Let's see if we can find anything. Because, this guy knows he'd get destroyed by Kennedy. Oh, this is not a good photo. So he writes this. Ugh, I was just stalked in front of my home by a couple of anti-vaxxers telling me to debate RFK Jr. Of course, I was looking my Sunday best in our brutal heat wave. What's with these people? Well, at least I don't know. I support the team. Oh God, Alex Rosen.
Hey.
So this is.
Oh, are you Peter Hotez?
I am. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Hey. So why are you not going to debate RFK on Joe Rogan's podcast?
Oh, come on, that's harassing.
I'm just curious.
What?
It's not harassing.
No, nothing hostile.
It's not harassing. He's asking you a question, dude. Answer the question. He's trying to be nice and ask you a question.
Just curious.
I haven't said anything one way or the other.
I mean, are you planning on doing it?
He just invited me, so we'll see.
And I think you should, though.
Well, we'll give it some thought.
Okay. And what do you have to say to people who think they're vaccine injured? Anything for them?
Don't come to my house.
I mean, do you have anything to say to people that think? Do you have anything to say to people? Yeah. I mean, do you think vaccine injuries are real, Peter? Peter, it's just a question. Settle the science now.
Come on, Peter.
On a safari to go vaccinate more kids?
Okay.
God. I mean, literally, this is just Mark Hamill. This is literally Mark Hamill, just in some glass. You can't tell me that's not Mark Hamill. I mean, I take hell away from these guys. I mean, look at them. Physically fit. I'm not sure how old RFK Jr. is. We can actually look it up. Dinner zone's ready? All right, so RFK is 69 years old, and unfortunately, so we covered this story. My thoughts are that this guy, Peter Hotez, is a clown. That's my final thoughts. I'm not sure if we got, I'm pretty sure we got to everything. So unfortunately, looks like I'm going to have to end it here. So you all know the drill. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye, everyone. And
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.